Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. What we're going to be doing right now is checking out our game mechanics based on a game that I have half made for you. And this means that the mechanics are part done. Now, you remember in the introduction, we had Odd Job Eddie and Sid Meier's, the Buccaneers or the Pioneers, and they were able to give us an idea as to how we can get our characters and NPCs to move around our game. So I have a game here, this is it. And I've made this based on the Sid Meier game. So we can sail around the oceans here. We've got different islands to go to. They've all got different names. Yet we have some mechanics in here that are stolen from the Odd Job Eddie game. Now, if we just hit the green flag on this, you can immediately see what it is that, which mechanic it is that I've stolen from the game. And that is my NPCs are protecting a very important part of the map, which is the ruins. The ruins are what I would consider in this game to be the final chapter of where I get all the treasure and all the riches, and I've got to go and fight off this giant squid or giant octopus and its merry friend, this giant shark as well. So as my boat sails around here, I'm just going to come out of full screen for a second. As my boat sails around here, it's going to go to each island and then pick up something from the island. Now I'm going to give you this in its basic form, so lots of things have been done for us already. When I start the game, my islands will automatically go to their particular spots, so they can't be bumped and moved around. Yet in the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you what it is that you are able to do. You can copy what I do, you can have a go at what I do, you can add your own flavor to this, because it has no sound either, so you need to go and put in your own sound and add your own flavor to this game and your own story. Okay, we're going to start to build on this game. This game is also strangely what's considered a maze game. So if I go to full screen here, this is actually a maze. So when my ship moves around here, this is actually a maze in its basic form. So these characters move around and they are going to have different interactions that's going to be happening to your boat at the same time. So what does our character or our player need to start the game? Well, it needs controls. That's the first thing that it needs. It needs some controls. So inside your first area, which is your ship, although it goes to the starting point, your starting point can be anywhere you like. So I've got go to -199, 146, which is here. And you can see that the XY coordinates are given here. And that's where I would like to start the game. I'd like it to start over here. You can start anywhere you want. You can start down here or you can start under here. The problem with starting over here or down here is that you got a nice way out of this one, but if you start over here, you can't get out between that island without hitting the islands. You might work it out, you might not, but I would start either here or in the corners over here. If you start over here, you're going to get attacked immediately by the big giant shark. So we actually need some movement. So there are different ways that we can move our character. Okay, in this mechanic right now, we're going to get it to move by using the arrow keys. You can use WASD if you wish. So what's going to happen now is that in my transition right here, you can pause the video and you can go into Scratch yourself and go and grab the game. And then you can come back in a second, and then we're going to go and make the control mechanics. So what I'm going to do now is just take away my screen here on my Scratch screen and come back to my game. And you'll notice that I've got these items here. So you'll probably want to go and pause and get these items if you wish. I've made a variable called speed. Now, this is different to normal sort of movement, so basic movement that we would have done in, say, year 2 or year 3. And that would have been, if up arrow key pressed, then I would move either Y plus and go up, Y take away and go down. And so that looks like this. So I can change my Y. So if I want to go up, I change my Y by 10. So as I hit this, as I hit the arrow key, and I've got a forever, if I hit the arrow key now, my boat moves by 10, which is far too fast anyway for my boat. But I've got a forever if I hit the up key, or the down, or the right, or the left. I move in either the Y, I take away Y. Let's go and show you. Take away 10. So if I make that my forever loop, now if I hit the down key, because I need to hit the down key, my boat is going to go down because it's changing Y by -10. So minus is down, adding is up. But it's so simplistic that you can't change any level ups. So later on in the game, everybody wants to get a level up. So you want to be able to get speed, or you want to go slower, because what's going to happen is invariably you want to go slower because you're going to hit things are going to attack you, and you need to change your speed so that the realism is there and the gameplay and the challenge is higher, because your boat is then going much slower. So what I did here is, in my variables, I made a speed variable. And what this means is that I can use some there's loads of ways to do this, but I can use some very basic maths here, because this little area here, this zero becomes incredibly important, because if my boat is breaking, I can then go and start to take this away. So I can start to change my speed and make it take it away. So I can my speed at the beginning of my game, I'm going to set to 3, because it allows me to do this by setting my speed to 3. So at the beginning of the game, I set the speed to a standard speed, which is 3, because you can see that 10 was way too big. And what I'm able to do now is change my Y. So if I go, which was my up arrow key, I can now change my Y, not by a flat 10, but something that I am able to change later on based on what it is I collect from each island. So I can go and drop this in now, because I can go and change my Y by speed plus 0. And we know that speed is equal to 3. So 3 plus 0 is 3. So I change it by 3, unless something happens in the rest of the game. Okay. So what I'm able to do now is just move this into a forever. And I can go and duplicate these for all of my directions, up, down, left, right. And I happen to have them under here, like this, so that you can have a go yourself. Okay, so at the beginning of my game, when green flag is clicked, set speed to 3, go to -199, which is in the corner, and then I've just copied all those and changed the up, down, left, right. And so what I'm able to do here is just change the number. You can see that what I've done is add an extra 3 on here, rather than because if I took 3 away, it wouldn't go anywhere. But if I add another 3 and make it -6 onto that, if I add another 3 onto that block, speed -6, which means it goes the opposite way, so it's 3 plus 3. I can make it go in reverse. Same with left. Left is a minus as well. So left needs to be -3 to 0, and then -3 to go backwards. So that's why I've gone and added that 6 in there. So it's all very simple mathematics. We can go and have a go ourselves. You are at liberty to go and steal this idea for this simple mechanic. You can go and steal my code and have a go yourself. All right. So basic mechanic of movement with an idea of using variables for our movement, which takes us to the next level. Okay. Which allows us to go and level up later on. Right. That's the first bit for mechanics. We are going to go and start to mess around with the color variable. So if we hit another color, we can start to experiment and mess around with the different types of colors and the different things that are going to happen to our boat if it hits the island. And what we want to do is go to the ruins and essentially get all the treasure from the ruins. That's the point of our game, really, in this idea. Right. Year 6, as always, good luck.